Errol Spence Jr. breaking his silence and talking about fight coming up very soon. March 30th, the great Tszyu and Keith Thurman and Errol Spence Jr. had a message about that fight. And hopefully we can see him get in the ring with the winner. Now, before I talk about that, let me welcome you back to the channel, and then we're going to talk about it in this video. All right, welcome back. We're getting closer to a big fight date, which is March 30th. Fight between Tszyu, more widely known as Tim Kazoo, by Jermell Charlo, and the return of Keith one-time Thurman. Not once upon a time, one-time Thurman. Cannot wait for this fight. Errol Spence Jr. came out and talked the other day about an undercard fight on that card, or a co-main event on that card. And then he responded to some questions about the main event. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much. And in this particular video, let me say thank you to my guy, Matty Yo, with the $2 holler in the super thanks. Thank you for sponsoring that video. Just says super thanks, just says thanks. So thank you. Let's get into this, man. Errol Spence Jr. is a former 147-pound champion. Held the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF belts at welterweight. Just recently, last July, lost to Terrence Crawford, who then became the undisputed champion at 147. And now we're waiting to see what he is going to do next, whether he's going to rematch Terrence Crawford or whether he's going to go a different direction, move up to 154 pounds and compete at that weight class. Certain people, Floyd Mayweather Jr. being one, has advised him to do that. And matter of fact, not just to go to 154, but to go to 160 or 168 into a weight division that he would feel more comfortable in, where he doesn't have to drain his body down. But yet and still, we don't know what the case is going to be. One of the options, though, an obvious option, is to fight the winner of this fight that's going to be taking place on March 30th between Tszyu and Keith Thurman. Now, I did a video yesterday because Errol Spence Jr. said he was putting 50 down on 50 down on Isaac Cruz to beat Rolly Romero. Now, that was hilarious to me because Rolly Romero is, man, he's one of my favorite personalities in boxing. He managed to get a championship, a WBA championship at 140 pounds, but he's got to be the least respected of all of the champions in that division. One of the least respected champions in all of boxing. A little overly disrespected, but they will be a battle with him and Isaac Cruz. And Errol Spence said he was going to put 50,000 down on it for a bet. But when asked, how much money do you have on Keith Thurman beating? How much money you got beating on Keith Thurman? How much money you got on Keith Thurman beating Tszyu? He takes a picture and turns his pocket out. Like, I ain't got no money for that one. Suffice it to say that he's got Tszyu beating Keith Thurman. Now, myself personally, man, I can't wait for this fight. I certainly hope that this is not a setup fight for Tszyu. I hope that we get a good competitive fight out of Keith Thurman. This will be Keith Thurman's first time in a very long time, if not first time ever, fighting at 154 pounds. I can't say that he's never done it because early in his career, maybe first couple fights, he may have, fought it like slightly above the welterweight limit. but not really ever during his, obviously during his reign of being a contender, champion, and the comeback after he lost his titles and took those layoffs, has he been at 154 pounds. He's also not fought in going on 2 years. He's not fought. Yeah, he's not fought in going on 2 years. I think he fought in February. I think the last time he fought was February of 2022 against Mario Barrios. So Mario Barrios, who's fought like 2 times, if not 3 times since that point in time. So very inactive, getting in there with a guy that was very active last year in Tszyu, very big in Tszyu, strong. And in my opinion, in his last fight that he had with the one that I saw with Tony Harrison, I thought that he showed better boxing skills than he had in previous ones, where to me it was kind of like I thought of Tszyu as being more of a rock'em sock'em robot type of guy. But Tim is feeling very confident, obviously very big in that weight class, very strong in that weight class, can definitely take a punch and can give a punch. Now, Keith Thurman obviously is a very good boxer. But the odds for this particular fight are just like 8-1 or something like that. So the odds makers are being completely dismissive of Keith Thurman and going into this fight. And Errol Spence Jr. is not doing anything but continuing with it. But I have to think that there's still a little saltiness between he and Keith Thurman. Like, as far as I think that Errol Spence, as far as being a fighter, obviously is one of the most exciting fighters, come forward type of fighter. It's going to be an exciting fight any way it goes with, it usually goes his way. In the last fight, it went Terrence Crawford's way, but still very, very exciting fighter. But when it comes to Keith Thurman, man, Errol Spence Jr. got a whole lot of petty in his bag for that one. And I still maintain that's a fight that I want to see. And I think that it would be a very, very good comeback fight, especially if Keith Thurman is ever able to pull off this Tszyu fight. And I'm telling you, I am not counting him out for this Tszyu fight, because Keith Thurman is not an easy out. He wasn't an easy out for the one loss that he has in his career, which was Manny Pacquiao. I thought actually, and he was coming off of a layoff against Manny Pacquiao. I thought that Keith Thurman could have very well won that fight if it wasn't for that knockdown that took place early in the fight with Manny Pacquiao. The Mario Barrios fight, he looked good in the Mario Barrios fight, looked strong in the Mario Barrios fight. Of course, you know what the deal is that people are going to say about Keith is that he can't take body shots. But we'll see if for the last 2 years, it seemed like he'd been consistently talking to people. He's been consistently in the gym for the last 2 years. So he may have worked on that ab strength and learned to, handle that a little bit better. But still, even when he gets in the body, he doesn't quit. So it's not like he got folded with a body shot like Ryan Garcia got folded with one. But anyway it goes, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to these fights being announced on these PBC cards, top rank cards, not so much matchroom cards. Matchroom cards, man, they just got way too many British fighters on that stuff for me. Like, at the bottom of it, there's way too many. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.